Hi, my name is Katie Fisher, and today I'm going to be speaking on the importance of why sexual education is beneficial. My goal is to teach only why it is important for students to understand the importance of knowing properly taught sexual education and medically factual bodily anatomy. Planned Parenthood describes sexual education as, quote, high quality and learning about a broad variety of topics related to sex and sexuality. I will be touching on subjects such as bodily anatomy, safe contraceptive benefits to prevent pregnancy, HIV and STDs, about laws in Tennessee regarding sex education, and abstinence-only learning. Knowing the importance of safe sex education ultimately can help reduce unplanned pregnancies. Not knowing about sexually transmitted diseases, also known as STDs, or human immunodeficiency viruses, also known as HIVs, can be dangerous since they are harder to treat or might be something a person can have for the rest of their life. The CDC calls these quality programs SHE, also known as sexual health education, which is common in schools that teach education. These SHE programs can teach a person, quote, medically accurate, developmentally appropriate, and culturally relevant content and skills that are targeted by key behavioral outcomes and promote healthy sexual development. When learning more about a person's body and knowing the diseases that can happen due to sex, having these classes can help find resources easier to get treated the correct way will be beneficial rather than ignoring a serious problem. Accidents happen, and there's not one single way to be safe and prevent an accident from happening. One of the most common sex education practices is abstinence-only education. Abstinence is the teaching of having no sexual intercourse with a person to avoid unwanted pregnancies and STDs. Penn GEC professor Rebecca Maynard has conducted extensive research on the topic. She states, quote, the abstinence-only sex education has no effect on the one-set sexual activity among children or the likelihood that if they do engage in sex, they will use a condom. Researchers from the University of Washington have stated, quote, the adolescents who receive comprehensive sex are significantly less and more likely to become pregnant. Adolescents who receive abstinence-only until marriage or no formal sex education. This was based on 1,719 young adults ages 15 to 17. In this research, they go on to say that 1 in 4 teens receive abstinence-only instruction, and 9% of those receive no instruction at all. But more of the 9% are from poor and rural areas. Another statistic is that 1 in 4 teens have an STD from the 2,000 that were interviewed. So teaching young students factual medical information about sexual intercourse could help these students from dealing with the repercussion of being ill-informed and safe sex practices, which is why this makes so important to be taught properly. While there are many factors that go into why our schools should be teaching comprehensive sex education, a big factor as to why it is not taught in Tennessee is that the laws in place in Tennessee have restrict of what can be taught. The Tennessee law, quote, Tennessee law 49-6-1302, 49-6-1304, and 49-6-1305 requires local education agencies in counties whose pregnancy rate exceeds 19.5 out of 1,000 per females, 19.5 pregnancies out of 1,000 females ages 15 to 17 to develop and implement life education programs. These programs must promote sexual risk avoidance, and their primary goal is to instruct that promotes gateway sexual activity is prohibited. Meaning that schools are supposed to teach how to prevent sex on the count of using contraceptives, but cannot teach abstinence-only courses. This law also includes that it is not required to be comprehensive, must stress abstinence, must include instruction on age of consent, does not require to go over sexual orientation or gender identity, and parents may remove students and children from teachings using an opt-out option. While all of this might sound good, it does not help students. This does not teach students proper care and prevention of unwanted pregnancies from happening. So, if we already taught students such as STDs and HIV prevention, safe contraceptives such as birth control and condoms, and proper medically correct factual bodily anatomy of both genders, this could be prevented. If you have children in school, you should want them to learn safer sex practices. And so they would have the knowledge to face uncommon problems with accurate information. I hope my speech helps you into understanding why sex education is so important and why it should be taught to students. I also hope this made your opinion about this very controversial topic more open, with more thought and more information about why sexual education should be taught in schools and why it is beneficial to learn. Thank you.